Well, back on the Crown Vics. It's sitting stupid low now. Like maybe 2 inches. Frame's 2 inches off the ground on the front. All right, I'm gonna put air to it one more time, and then I'll try to push her back into the garage. Pretty much call this one an episode. So. Tell me that doesn't look good. Hey, you're late. Always late. Always late. All right, so we're gonna start by pulling that box off. Try to wheel her back into the garage. What we really need to do is start getting measurements for our fuel cell we're gonna put back here. I also really need to make some cab mounts, get everything where it needs to be, and then I can start building off of that. So, anyways, I'm gonna pull this stuff off quick and see if I can't shove it in the garage. Oh, it's my birthday. I was planning on doing a little bit of filming outside, but once again, it's windy, so I'm gonna take that box off. I'm gonna wheel it in here, and then we'll start monkeying around. Welcome back. What do you think about that? Think about that. I figured this is probably going to be the last time that I get to put air to it. It's November 19th. It's like 50 degrees out. We probably got 2 more nice days, and then it's going to suck for like 4 months. So this will probably be the last time this thing's out of the garage till we try to pull it out and drive it. So anyways, let's do it. All right, I got the box pulled off. You know, I was thinking before that I would just mount the compressor in the tank for the air ride to the frame, but I think I am going to leave it inside the box, and then I'll just leave it the plugs so I can unplug it and whatever else if I ever need to take the box off. I do need to cut some of that rust out, and I don't know, I'll probably put a piece of diamond plate or something right there, kind of clean it up a little bit. And then for the fuel tank, I'm gonna have to take a bunch of this out too, because the tank's gonna be sitting right there. I need to box this back part of the frame in, and then I'll set the tank kind of where I want it, and we'll get some measurements. So I'm gonna see if I can't push this in the garage this time. Hopefully that box was enough weight to where I can manhandle a little bit and get it back in here. So let's go. So I think this is where I'm gonna mount the fuel tank. With it all the way laid out, it's about 8 inches off the floor. That'll give me, I don't know, a solid, at least a foot, if not a little bit more, from the rear bumper. as well as, I don't know, 6 inches maybe away from the rear diff. I do think that I'm gonna make most of this so that I can just bolt it in. The frame will still be in there, but I'll be able to lift the tank out. So, the 26-gallon tank don't look that big once it's sitting in there. I like it. It's gonna look good. I'm gonna get some of that Rhino liner or whatever and just spray the living crap out of it. So that should look good. Anyways, I'm gonna get the pen and paper out and I'll kind of figure out exactly how I want this to be supported, and then we'll do some cab mounts quick. All right, so I'm really not gonna get too fancy with this. I think what I'm gonna do is just build a frame around the bottom out of 1.5 inch angle iron. And then I'll come up and then probably just come over and tie right into the frame. 26 gallons is quite a bit of weight. It's, I don't know, 9 pounds a gallon. So, you know, you're looking at 250 pounds basically, just kind of hanging here. So it's got to be fairly strong. I really don't want anything falling off, or, you know, especially this, you know. So we're going to make this pretty beefy, and it'll get us a little more weight on the back of the truck. So when we're out doing smoky burnouts and stuff, maybe we can pull a wheelie off here or there, you know, depending on if we get traction or not. Oh, speaking of that, I was going to use that 300 out there. I think I had mentioned this before. I was going to use the 300 6-cylinder and then that 4-speed because it was all one unit and it would have been really easy to put in here. But Classic Car Revivals decided to give me a 302 that was bolted to that T5 that's sitting right there. So the plan is put all that in here and make a nice little cruiser out of it, maybe some long tube headers. I don't plan on using much for mufflers. I like loud V8s, and as long as I'm getting pulled over and getting tickets, it's going to be as loud as I can possibly get it. Most of the noise will be going out the back anyway. So, anyways, I'm gonna get this measured, and then I'll get you reset up over here. We'll kind of climb around underneath and get measurements for our cab mount, show exactly what I'm doing there. So let's do it. All right, so what I have here, that's the measurements of the bottom of the tank. I'm gonna go about 1/2 inch larger, and I got some of that foam that they put on the tops of beds for putting campers down and stuff like that. So I'm gonna use some of that as a cushion, like an isolator. And then what I got here is, this will be this side profile of this tank. I'm gonna come up 5 inches off the edge, up all the way to the top, and I'm gonna have a piece of flat right here, 2x2, and I'm gonna do the exact same thing on this side and on the other side. And what I'll do is run a 2-inch strap all the way across the top. So I can literally take these 4 bolts out and lift the whole tank out. On the sides as well, I think I'll probably just go up at an angle, I think is what I might do. Either that or, I don't know. I don't really want to be able to see this angle from behind it, but I think we'll be good. So maybe just come up at a little bit of an angle. Here, and then one towards the front as well. So that's how I plan on mounting this tank. Okay, so a little bit of monkeying around. What I have now is the body is sitting correctly with the frame. So it's about, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's about an inch and an eighth right here. And then it goes all the way up to the front, the same. As of right now, the pickup does have like a natural rake to it, which I'm completely fine with. I like the way it looks. And to be honest with you, I really don't want to take out these 2-inch spacers or whatever we have here above the airbags. I like it. I think it looks good. It reminds me of like the old hot rods when they had a beautiful rake and then they had gigantic meats just sticking out. That's my idea of a hot rod. I mean, these ones are going to be tucked because these old Fords just weren't built like that, unfortunately. Maybe I could. I've always wanted to use the fenders off a unibody. Either that or maybe cut a fender up like that and then just use that body line back here. I don't know. Anyways, it ain't going to be on this one. But so I got that figured out. This piece was originally holding the cab for the 66 that was on here previously. I do need to adjust these angles just a little bit to get it up where it needs to be. And then those holes are in a different location now. What else? I need to do this back one. I need to do the front one. I need to somehow tie all of that together. And then I also need supports from this rear cab mounts back here somewhere to stiffen this up, because the Crown Vics really weren't that stiff of a suspension to begin with. And after you stretch it out, it just makes it even worse. But I can say that one thing that will help me is the fact that I'll have an extra set in the middle. And then, I mean, realistically, I think the body will keep it where it needs to be, hopefully. If not, we'll just get after it and reinforce it a little bit more. All right, so this is a bottom view. Our bolts are right here, and then there's a spot right there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get an 1.5 inch tube and run it across here. It kind of starts to move down there and then right here as well. So I'll put the tube in here, I'll bolt it on where it needs to, and then I'll build my pieces off of there. And then I'll do the same, I don't know if you can see, but same on the front one as well. I'm also gonna have to put a hanger bearing somewhere in here. Not sure where just yet. I guess once we get the motor and transmission put in here, we'll have a better idea. I also need to make a transmission mount. All this stuff is gonna be pretty low to the ground, but we'll get it figured out. If we got a channel or whatever, this whole body, whatever, it's just sheet metal. On a side note, I sold the wheels and tires, spacers, lug nuts, center caps, all of it. I got $225 for them. The guy will be here tomorrow. I'm going to need to cut this episode short because I got to put a thermostat in this Jeep. It's my daughter's 2013 Jeep Moab. Pulled the engine cover off. And some critters. Just trying to stay warm. So, anyways. Well, that's going to do it for this week's episode. It's my birthday. I got stuff to do. I'm home alone. I need to fix that Jeep. And then I'm going to go get the biggest ribeye steak I can find and slap it on the grill. Just enjoy a little bit of peace and quiet before everybody gets home. I hope you guys enjoy this week's episode. Don't forget to support small YouTube, classic car revivals, high octane with a K garage. Who else? Hodgepodge Dodge Garage. Love getting comments from that guy. Always has a positive attitude. His name's Zane. You guys should really check out his channel. Who else? Half Moon Customs. Those guys are awesome. Squirrel's Workshop. I mean, the list goes on and on. The other day on Facebook, this is a little bit off subject, but the other day on Facebook, I was on this f100 page or whatever, and they're like, put your YouTube channel down. And then all these guys started putting their stuff down. And you don't realize how much good content there is out there from little tiny YouTube channels until you get out there and start surfing. But you can go down that rabbit hole and you may never come back. But anyways, I'll see you next week. Y'all come back now, you hear? Bye. It's like the first time I saw my wife. Just gotta stop and stare. Oh, it's so low and so mean. Tell me what you guys think. Last week, I think we set some records for comments. I don't know, 60-something comments we got? Keep them coming. 60-something positive comments and one bad one. Thanks, Robert E. Lee III. I bet that's your real name too, isn't it? Go ahead. Comment all you want, man. I love you. I'll give you a hug. All right, bye. Just so you guys know, I'm not trying to get rich off of YouTube. I'm just trying to have maybe pay for a hobby. Why not? Makes sense, don't it? Bye. What do you think I should do for a grill? Tell me that don't look good. Anybody want some homemade lasagna? And garlic bread. Yes, please. Yeah, she's ugly, but she's mine. And if I ever finish building it, whenever I park it, I'm going to turn back and look at her and see what I built. Huh? Do you love it?